Alright, this form right here, right, is the SF 181 form, right? You could Google it. It's for ethnicity and race identification, right? So we got the races right here. Racial category. American Indian or Alaska Native, right? A person having origins in any of the original peoples of North and South America, including Central America, and who maintains tribal affiliation or community attachment, right? Notice it said original peoples, right? A person having origins, Asian, right? A person having origins in any of the original peoples of the Far East, Southeast Asia, or the Indian subcontinent, including, for example, Cambodia, China, India, yeah, blah, blah. All right. Then we got Black or African American, right? A person having origins in any of the Black racial groups of Africa, all right? Now, as you can see, right, this Black or African American is you're not from an original people, right? Let's keep going. Native Hawaiian or other Pacific Islander. A person having origins in any of the original peoples of Hawaii, Guam, Samoa, original peoples, right? I want to let you know. I want y'all to get this keyword, original peoples, all right? Then we got white. A person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, or North Africa, right? Then we'll consider them white, right? So now I want to take you to the AI legal definition of black, all right? And remember all this. The legal definition of black not of Hispanic origin is a person with origins in any of the following groups: Black racial groups of Africa, original peoples of North America, people who maintain cultural identification through tribal affiliation or community recognition. So what AI is telling you, what AI is telling you, right, that you are the Black or African Americans, right, are really American Indian, right? Person having origins in any of the original peoples of North and South America. But when you go to the definition of black, right? Original peoples of North America. That's what AI is saying. So we already know, and who maintain tribal affiliation or community attachment, right? And then it says right here, right? A person having origins in any of the black racial groups of Africa. Yeah, they ain't gonna say originals, but who are these groups of people that came from Africa, right? Over here to America. Wouldn't that be the Moors, right? Even the Moors. Moors are considered white as well, right? A person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, or North Africa, right? We already know the North Africa, those was Moors, all through the North Africa. The Middle East is North Africa as well, right? The European royalty was Moors. We know that. You know that, right? There was Moors. All right, so here's what free white person means in Black Laws Dictionary, 4th edition, right? Free white persons. Free white persons referred to in the Naturalization Act as amended by Act July 14th, 1870 has meaning naturally given to it when first used in 1 Statute 103, Clause 3, meaning all persons belonging to the European races then commonly counted as white, and their descendants, including such descendants and other countries to which they have emigrated. It includes all European Jews, more or less intermixed with peoples of Celtic, Scan- Scandinavian, Teutonic, Iberian, Latin, Greek, and Slavic descent. It includes Magyars, Lapps, and Finns, and the Basques and Albanians. It includes the mixed Latin, Celtic, Iberian, and Moorish inhabitants of Spain and Portugal, the mixed Greek, Latin, Phoenician, and North African inhabitants of Sicily, and the mixed Slav and Tatar inhabitants of South Russia. It does not mean Caucasian race, Aryan race, or Indo-European race, nor the mixed Indo-Europeans, Dravidians, Semitic, and Mongolian peoples who inhabit Persia. A Syrian of Asiatic birth and descent will not be entitled to become a naturalized citizen of the United States as being a free white person. So, as we can see, right, the European Jews had to been of melanated complexion. And there was anybody who was mixed in with these Jews of melanated complexion, right, was considered free white persons. We already know the North African inhabitants of Sicily, right? Yeah, they was melanated. Now eat the beans. Look what it says: Moorish inhabitants of Spain and Portugal. It don't say mixed Moorish inhabitants of Spain and Portugal. It say Moorish inhabitants of Spain and Portugal, right? And it said no, it does not mean Caucasian race, Aryan race, or Indigo Europeans. Indo-Europeans, I mean, races. So all I'm saying is, yeah, we already know. So you either had to be well melanated or you had to be mixed, right? To be considered free white persons. So going back to this definition, right, on the FSA, the FS 181 form, can you be considered black or African American? I mean, technically, you can't in the legal sense, right? Because that's what it says legally. There's no nationality. You're not from original groups of people. But can black people call themselves American Indian? Can black people call themselves white? Right? That's what you need to understand. Can you call yourself white socially and politically? Or can you call yourself American Indian socially and politically? All right. So you can have legal retribution, right? Because I wanna show you. That's what it says, man. That's what it says, right? Right? A man without a nationality or a stateless person has no legal protection is denied many basic rights. If you call yourself black or African American, you're not saying you're from an original people, which means you are stateless. You don't know where you're from. All right? And if you are stateless with no nationality, right, you have no legal protection and is denied many basic rights, which we are. If we call ourselves black or African American, so, when you say you're a foundational black American, you're still using the word black. But even if you say you're a foundational American, what you are, you could prove it, right? Because American Indians are foundational Americans, right? If you're original, right? That's what it says right here, right? original peoples of North America are the foundational Americans, right? So we got to be careful how we use this word black. I mean, we are black in a spiritual sense, right? Being that all colors derive from the color black, and being that a color is just a representation of a frequency, right? Also a representation of a signature of a frequency, I guess, right? So different shades of light, that's all it is. And black being the most intense vibration, since it is of the highest, God is black, because God is death. God is literally death, and death is the highest frequency. Now the thing is, you know, either you're gonna become the master of death by keeping your consciousness when you go over back to the other side, right? You become a master of death. You could become God, I guess you could say, if you're a master of death, right? Or you could be stuck in an illusion, you know, in these lower vibrations, right? I should say. See, that's the map of consciousness right here, right? We all be coming right here under the blue sun, right? And the love, oneness, everybody's starting to realize and all that who they are. You know, a lot of people's moving up to the fifth dimension, right? New humanity consciousness, right? This is the blue area right here, right? And you see black. Black is all the way up here, right? High vibration, right? So in a spiritual sense, yeah, we are that, but we gotta live like that. We gotta be that. In order to be that, we can't be in these lower energies, right? Right? All these lower energies. We gotta shed all this. Right? How many of y'all at the level of acceptance? Are y'all even there? How many of y'all are here and the light and the wisdom? You know, a lot of people, they still shame, Look at our females, right? The wig wearing, eyelashes. I think the longer the eyelashes, the more shame, you carrying. The thicker the eyelashes, the more shame you carrying. That's what I think. Uh the heavier the makeup, I feel the more shame you carrying as well. I mean, with the men it's kind of different, because we operate in you know, we masculine, yeah. Black woman, well, so-called black women, the feminine energy operates different than masculine energy. So desires, right? Pride. We deal with a lot of pride, anger, a whole lot of trauma, right? Do we have the courage to see things for what they are? Do we have the courage to heal, right? We gotta move all the way up the ladder. But we gotta shed. We gotta get rid of all this right here. All this. Keep moving up. All right? And that's gonna take a lot of meditating, spiritual practices, and just being to yourself and knowing who you are as a person, which, a particular entity is stopping us from doing, right? Because, right, they stopping us from having us, right? They stopping us from maintaining cultural identification through tribal affiliation or community recognition. This is how we're losing ourselves. So when we start to learn and maintain this identification, right, and know who we are as a people, know our nationality, then we could start pushing back. All right. But if you don't know the full extent of what black really means in a legal sense, right, you're really gonna fall under this right here. All right, you're gonna fall under a stateless person, a man without a nationality. All right. So what this is saying right here, right? Original peoples of North Africa, people who maintain cultural identification through tribal affiliation or community or recognition. What this saying right here, this is saying that black, the legal definition of black is really American Indians on the FSS one form, right? Because that's what American Indians say, a person having origins in any of the original peoples of North and South America, right? And who maintains tribal affiliation or community, but this is what they constantly stripping away from us. So we don't claim ourselves as American Indian. But however, right, well, we from racial groups of Africa, right? So what this is saying is we already know who these people, who these noble people from Africa was, whether it's from North Africa or West Africa, East Africa, they were Moors. And they was the privileged, the noble ones, right? That had the authority and funds to get over here, right? Because you gotta have money and wealth to come to America back in the days. If you ain't had no money, you wasn't going nowhere. And we already know the Moors was the ones who pull the Caucasian race, I should say, out of their own situation, right? It was the Moors that did that. They pulled them out of their situation. So how was they able to pull them out their situation and give them a better life? It's because they had the means to do so. They was the ones with the wealth, right? They was the ones with the knowledge, all right? So they was the privilege, right? So that's why when we go here, we'll understand why you see this definition as free white persons, and it does not mean the Caucasian race, right? It's all the people who mixed in with the Moors and the Jews. We already know the Hebrew Israelites already say who was the original Jews, right? Who was the original Jews? And this is who they mix with. Now we know this is what we do know. Reason why we in the situation we in, because who you think they chose? What family side they chose? Did they chose the Moorish man, or did they choose their mother? Right, if someone was mixed, clearly, we already know what they mix with. If it's from, if it's in Europe, if it's a lot of mixing all throughout Europe, right? We already know, right? A lot of these mixed children chose their mother, and that's how we got in the situation we in. They ain't choose their father. So yeah, this is something to think about. All right, very important to know. So in a legal sense, you can't call yourself black or African American, right? In a spiritual sense, right? Yeah, we know we black, right? Black is a high frequency, right? Very high frequency. You feel me? That's when you transferring over to see God. In order to see God, that's why a lot of people have near death experiences, right? When they're close to death, they have all these crazy experiences because they operate in their highest frequency. We shed all that quick when we're ready to when we're about to die. Well, not everybody, not everybody, but we only think about the very, very good things when we're about to die. And if you think about only the good things, that means you operate at a high frequency. Should have did that all your life. Anyway, right? See the blue sun, right? You see how we moving right here? Maybe the blue sun is causing us to move up to this dimension. Who knows? Let's see, right? All right, so this is what we have here, right? We have a blue aura around the yellow sun, right? This is our sun right here. But the blue aura around the sun is from this dot right here. You see it? So, to my understanding, this is the blue Kachina right here, right? That is causing the sun to increase in frequency because the principle I go by is higher frequencies either manipulate, deteriorate, or destroy lower frequencies, right? And since fire elevates water, right? Fire don't destroy water, it elevates it to a higher state of being, right? If you put fire to ice, ice is a solid state, which is a low frequency state, right? The fire, which is of a higher frequency, will cause water, right, to elevate to a liquid state. And then if you further put the heat to the water, it will elevate it to a gas state. Now, this is what I'm talking about. Now, this principle doesn't, it's not absolute. I know that for sure. But when it comes to fire and water, this principle, you could use that. Higher frequencies, for instance, we already know certain high frequencies deteriorate other materials, right? Including some beings as well. It elevates one being while deteriorate another being, right? So high frequencies, yeah. Only reason why it's elevating us is because we have a higher frequency uh to accept that energy or be able to process that energy. You know, we are of that energy, so much to say, right? That means we got a higher soul level, right? So with that being said, yeah, going back to the map of consciousness, right? We under the blue sun. So yes, we moving into a higher dimension, right? We're moving into a higher dimension. Oops. Yeah, we're moving into a higher dimension. This is blue right here, right? So this is definitely a good time. And if you think you're gonna be out here, you know, acting reckless and crazy under this type of energy, nah, you're gonna get removed. You're gonna get removed, man. So I'm gonna just conclude this here, all right? Reason for me making this videos to help you understand why we cannot be black, right? In a legal sense, so you can't be calling yourself black, and publicly, and you can't be saying you're African American, because these social constructs, it strips us of our national identity, right? Now AI indirectly saying that our national identity, right, is either original peoples of North America, right, which will be considered American Indian, right, or the groups of black people, right, the racial groups of black people of Africa. We already know, the Moors are from North Africa. There was the free white persons over here. So yeah, if we are from these racial groups of Africa, which would be really West Africa and North Africa, right? We will be the Moors that had the privilege to come over here. Nothing else. So instead of calling yourself black or African American, you better be calling yourself, I prefer a Moor, but at least American Indian, if anything. Because yes, we are that. We are the original Indians, and we are the Moors. We are descendants of the Moors that came over here. All right. So I'm gonna conclude that here, and I'm gonna say, right, stay vigilant, and you'll prosper.